All right, we're back for our second feature match of the week here in week 2 for Aetherdrift. We got two new players to our server. So we got Matthew H, who we're going to be following here, up against Sabrina. Matthew's in his first league. Sabrina's in her second league. So we're going to get to see what these players got to offer. What's Sabrina got in hand over there?
Well, that's a pretty spicy hand. Got a lot of artifact synergies. You got the Wreckage Wickerfolk, which will come down in a second. You got the Packed Altair, and then you have Haunt the Network after that.
Oh,
So kind of a nice curve going on here.
very nice. Looks like Matthew's got like a seemingly going to be perhaps a dedicated cycling deck. He did call his deck, on the screen where you can name your deck there. He did call it "Is it looting?" So we'll see if we
Ooh,
can get some cycling on.
maybe see
And
a push limit.
no, not yet. Um, so in hand, he's got a Grease Wrench Goblin, Broadside Barrage. He's got a pretty interesting card here from Ikoria that he picked up, the Prickly Marmoset.
Ooh,
Uh,
that's a strong.
Yeah, and he's got a lightning strike and a trip up in hand. So he's got three pieces of interaction and a very nice one drop that can trigger his discarding. So the prickly marmoset, unlike the cards in Aetherdrift, it only triggers when you cycle a card. The ones in Aetherdrift all trigger when you discard. So it's a little different, but it's a 3 mana 2/3 first strike. It gets +2/+0 every time you cycle.
Yeah, definitely a
So
tough one to block.
yeah, so it won't work with Broadside Barrage or Grease Wrench Goblin, but still a nice card. Yeah, so Sabrina said this looks like a threat. I'm going to neutralize it. It doesn't kill it, but it actually can still attack sometimes. Like it could still get pumped by its own ability. So we'll see if the dead weight actually uh, does neutralize it completely, but it will at least this turn.
Yeah, opting to probably just save maybe some life with that. Um,
Yeah, no land here for Matthew. He opted to just play two creatures rather than like maybe dig for it with his cycling a trip up or casting broadside barrage. He drew a 2 drop to play, so he played the 2 drop and the 1 drop. Yeah,
pretty
this
good
is
there.
this is a scary little start here. You know,
Hopefully the Packed Altair can kind of get the life total back up here.
yeah, we were talking about it last week. It's like it's very unusual. You see like kind of like a build around common,
Oh,
very unusual. But I mean, the card just works on its
it's
own.
very strong, yeah.
Like I've played it in decks that I did not have very many artifacts, and my opponents killed it on site just out of fear. And Matthew is respecting that card here.
Uh, Probably a wise decision, especially with the Haunted Network potentially coming out soon.
Yeah, I mean, at the pre-release, I did Hauntward. I like one of the first times I cast Pact Altair. I played on turn 4. The next one I cast Haunt the Network, and I drained my opponent for 5, and that was with no other artifacts in play. I was like, this is real.
Oh, nasty.
So in the meantime, Matthew's making up for his mana deficiency here with a treasure. He's drawn a Ketria Crystal, which is a mana rock that has cycling. So very focused, seemingly theme for his deck here. We'll see what some of the payoffs are, perhaps this game or in sideboarding, what some of the higher rarity payoffs are.
Yes, I wonder how much of a boost
Oh,
Blue Red gets with all the Ike cyclers for sure.
well, my question has been immediately answered as he's drawn the Captain Howler here,
Ooh,
the
it's a
Sea
good one.
Scourge. Yeah, that one is a very scary card. That card can throw damage just absolutely out of nowhere. So with the lack of mana, there is quite a number of choices here on how to proceed with the turn. So he has a lot to do and a lot of ways he can use mana, but not a lot of mana. Okay. I'm guessing Sabrina has some kind of interaction here.
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
think this might have just been an unfortunate not reading the card.
Okay. I mean, happens
Oh, but
sometimes. It's well, when you make mistakes, the main thing is to not repeat them. Hopefully.
there is a lot of cards that do a lot of stuff in this set, so it's totally understandable.
Yeah. just got in with the grease wrench there. I mean, maybe there was a thought on Sabrina's side to say, well, he is stuck on mana a bit, so maybe make him absolutely have to activate, but it still didn't quite work out favorably with the Wicker Folk heading to the graveyard.
Maybe a double block would have been more prudent.
Yeah, double block would have mitigated that and also forced the activation to not just be eaten.
But she does have a Call the Death Dweller, so she will get a
Oh, that's
pretty
neat.
nice little creature here. Yeah,
That's a neat card. I do like these cards from the sets that are just like, oh, that's cool, that's fun, that's neat. It's kind of like it's like a bit of a like nostalgia of some of these sets, but also like the cycling cards from Ikoria are fitting in well. The artifact cards from Kaladesh are fitting in well. So
a
yeah,
lot of interesting overlap it seems. And holding up a bounce off with the one blue here.
all right. Not gonna fight over this.
Let's save it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not gonna fight over this 1-3. Yeah, so the lands are starting to flow now here for Matthew, but he's likely going to play the Captain Howler.
Yeah, I feel like advancing the board state's a pretty good option here for
Yeah.
sure.
So he does have a trip up that he could use next turn to trigger this captain, and he does just get to attack for 6 in the meantime. Yeah. So as it stood, putting the dead weight on the Marmoset was pretty good because it would have dealt quite a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, no, that was probably prudent at the time.
Yeah. It's just like in my head, I don't like putting dead weight on a creature when it doesn't kill the creature, but in this case, because of how big the Marmoset can get, it was probably a good call.
Yeah, kind of been on back foot this whole game, but hopefully with this, here comes the haunt.
Yeah, it's like when you cast Haunt the Network for 3, I mean, it's still good, right? Like you're still happy, but you always think of what could have been, right?
For sure, yeah. Oh, what big attack coming in
Yeah,
now.
yeah, attacking with the Marmoset because the Marmoset can get +4/+0 with one discard here.
Yeah, it's really tough to block this Howler with all this untapped mana.
I mean, can't block it anyway. Don't even have enough power to kill it.
Oh, I just mean like blocking any
Yeah,
creatures here.
yep. Because anything can get +2/+0 and then draw a card. So said I want this Marmoset dead, and one discard unfortunately is going to make that a 4/1. So it's going to, yeah, it's going to eat both of these creatures, unfortunately,
Clear
for
the
Sabrina.
board.
And he's drawn a, what a Vinwixt. I just call him Vinny.
Yeah, 0/4 not too impactful on the board, but it could do stuff later.
I mean, if you actually get to level 4 in this deck, it's going to go off like crazy.
I mean, we've seen so far they've been able to attack in every turn, so it probably does do some good work in the right
Yeah,
situation.
he is basically, I mean, he has a mountain in hand, but he's basically empty handed. But he does have a card draw for 4 mana if he wants it here with the Refueler. A Dune Drifter.
All right, it's a start.
Yeah, like this card, like it's okay. I kind of find it's a bad rate, like no matter when you cast it. But I mean, you're getting something back, so it's not that bad. It's just it's costly. It's a it's a it's a costly business expenditure to have a Dune Drifter resolve and get something good back.
Yeah, but fortunately, it does offer at least another blocker here. So
Yes,
hope
so no discard here. So Sabrina's safe from the threat of discard this turn. Let's see how many creatures he wants to attack with here into this Death Toucher.
Oh, I should note there's also a Hellish Sideswipe that Sabrina left on top.
Okay, that'll be of some use. He said, "You know what? You're at 10. I'm just going to attack all. If you want to block my Captain Howler, I'm okay with that." I do love this. I do love this bluff here, like attacking even with the 0-4 and the 0-1 when he has no discard, but opponent doesn't know that.
Asserting dominance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's basically saying, if I have discard, I can make any of these into a big problem for you. So normally you're not just going out attacking with zero power creatures, but here there was absolutely a reason.
Vinny just wanted to get in there, man.
Yeah. He's tired of sitting
Mm.
on the sidelines. He can't ride mounts. He can't drive cars. What can he do? He has zero power.
He wants his time in the limelight.
Yeah, well, he got it. He attacked for 0.
Ugh,
Yeah, so this is
it looks like. Yeah.
it's not quite 7 here on board. It's gonna be 6, but it's gonna be not favorable here for Sabrina. Yeah, so unless there's a pile up or some other form of board wipe,
They
we
they
are going to be going
oh,
to game
oh,
2.
they did draw removal.
Yeah, but at 1.
Well, they offer have a blocker here now with the pilot,
Okay, yeah.
so there is a chance here.
All right, and a land off the top means it was not a foregone conclusion here. The removal did give Sabrina at least one more turn, if not multiple. Yeah, and doesn't absolutely does not want to trade with this deathless pilot.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I think she wants to surveil and
Oh,
upkeep, but
well, never mind
looked
any of that.
correctly.
We got a
Yeah.
lightning strike here.
Never mind.
let's just keep it simple.
Right to the dome.
Yeah, might have wanted to surveil on upkeep there, but
It would have been tough
I don't know if
regardless.
any of that anything could have prevented a lightning strike from coming down here.
Yeah, not them seeing here at least.
Yeah, so looking at the deck here, he does have both of the Is It Rares. He has 2 of the Captain Howler and the Swashbuckler, the other Is It Rare. So pretty nice looking Is It deck. He is splashing for the Afterburner Expert. That's like that goblin that comes back from the graveyard.
Ooh, nice.
So I don't know how much. Doesn't have like an insane amount of exhaust, but you know, probably has just enough to make it work here.
We did see at least couple that game.
Yeah. Yeah, he has 3 of the Sky Streak Engineer, and he has the Rangers Refueler and the Grease Rich Goblin. So we saw a few, and there's I think a couple others there. Boom Mobile he has.
Oh, actually, I put Lutri in the companion slot for Sabrina.
Do they have it in the companion or no? Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't a companion that game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is an intentional sideboard option, because right now they actually don't have. They actually have a very unique card in their deck, so that is an option for them.
Oh, huh.
Very interesting.
I mean,
Oh,
so I do know from chatting with her a bit that Sabrina is a pretty new player. Like just started playing at the end of last year, so might not be 100% familiar with like the companion mechanic and how that works. So, because it is a bit confusing.
oh, totally. But like, if yeah, it seems like that might be the plan going to the next game.
Okay,
Um, that's like an eighth card in hand, so that's pretty nice.
no, definitely. Unless you are like giving up major, huge synergy pieces or like insanely powerful like rares or upper level uncommons, it's probably correct to just put a Lutri as your companion.
Oh, the dream is copying the Haunted network.
Oh, now we're talking. I mean, that takes a lot of mana. I I'd settle for a hellish sideswipe, right? Sack one thing,
Dream
kill 2
that.
things. I'm in.
Totally.
I'm in. Sack my Grim Bauble, kill 2 creatures, have a 3/2 in play. Let's
Let's
do it.
go.
Oh, a Draneth Stinger in the opening hand. I like that one. Uh, oh, so this time she did come equipped with the Lutri. I don't know if it was like a deck building, maybe just
Yeah, I missed
could.
if it was missed.
Yeah, it might have
Like
been
she had.
an error in deck building just to not put it as the companion the first time around. But either way, she's got it now. What else is in hand there?
Yeah, so Sky Streak Engineer round two. You got like Glitch Ghost Surveyor. a waxen spy shape thief, which is like the rare clone
Hmm,
creature from the set. Also called the Death Dweller.
okay.
So got some spices.
Yeah, got some stuff to do. We got a Ranger's Refueler to start off here. Also, there's a Skystreak Engineer, a Hull Drifter, Outpace Oblivion, a Howler's Heavy, and the Dranith Stinger, which Dranith Stinger also quite good at getting you speed if you need. It's kind of like the Magmakin Artillerist, but um, just a little bit of a better body at a 2 mana 2/2.
Yeah, I can imagine that being pretty nasty in their deck.
Yeah, and it cycles for one generic, which was problematic back in Ikoria. But yeah, so figuring out what to do here. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty hard to keep Sabrina off of speed, I would say, especially with just playing a 1/3 here. So the Rangers refueler, I believe, is crew 2, if I'm remembering.
But yeah, so I think that's not available
Okay.
this turn.
Yeah, so definitely is going to get her speed here. Probably going to be able to get to 4 speed next turn. Did not attack. Hmm.
Hmm. I definitely would have went in there try to get your speed up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, since he couldn't crew the refueler, it was just a free 1 damage there. And you do want to get that speed online for Hour of Victory.
Like a free tutor like that is really sick in this kind of format where you can't always get the card you want.
Yeah, so it looks like Matthew's going to leave up his mana here to activate the Ranger's Refueler. Does have Howler's Heavy in hand as like something that can be done. Oh, still no attacks. Must respect the instance here because I don't know. I don't consider myself an overly aggressive player, but there are some pretty clear attacks that are available here. Deciding what to do here. Going to go with the Hull Drifter. So, as we were discussing before, from a long lineage of cards that I enjoy, but this is. I came in really low on the Hull Drifter. It just looked quite bad, even though I love it. And I think it's been slightly better than horrible. So I'll
It,
take it.
high praise for sure.
I'll take it.
I mean, I'm always happy to play the first copy, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean the set ended up being obviously a bit slower than people envisioned. So like when I first saw this card, I'm just thinking 5 mana, draw two, only 2 toughness, and you need crew 3. I'm just like this has too many things going against it. But turns out format is slow enough to make it work most of the time. We see the clone come down, copying the 1/3, and now Matthew's got some options here. Lots of cards in hand. Obviously, has not been playing too many cards here. So it's just a matter of deciding what to do with this 5 mana. Ideally, maybe play 2 things. Yeah, so he has Outpace Oblivion here that he's thinking about playing, and then he could have the Vinwixt as the follow up to that. No, he just leaves a mana open here. So Trip Up is basically the only play he has aside from cycling a couple of the cards.
Getting in the
Okay,
red zone, love it.
well, we're just going to draw another card here. Yeah, just interesting that it took Sabrina this many turns to start attacking with the Flyers here, but does get the speed to 3.
You know, better late than never.
Yeah. So another land here for Matthew. I mean, lands are good. He has like his hand's full of spells. So
I mean,
yeah,
just looking at that grip of cards is a little demoralizing, I'm sure.
yeah, it's definitely scary. And like Sabrina's been doing stuff and working hard and activating, putting mana into the creatures, and opponent's still at 18. I'd be feeling like, what is it that I need to do here? Okay. So it can pretty much demolish this double block with a Howler's Heavy if he wants, or he could just let it happen. And he said, I'll demolish the double block.
You know, get a draw. Seems good. Keep the 4/4.
Yeah, and a Road Rage off the top here, which deals 4 damage for 1 mana.
Jeez, yeah, good in this board state. If he gets one more vehicle out.
Yeah, so the Izzet deck, I don't know if you've drafted it a bunch, but it's very dependent on uncommons and really even like rares in some respect.
They get one chance to draft it in person. I did get a pretty decent amount of vehicles, so I was, or not vehicles, like the boosted sloop. I got a couple of
Yeah,
those.
that one's
That
good.
card's really good for that archetype.
Yeah, like I see boosted sloops like wheel and stuff in drafts because like people are just staying away from the archetype. So um, it is one that is very dependent on uncommons and even rares in some way. So all right, I think he was maybe planning on cycling this, but he just says, "Let me cast a big old boat here."
Oh, here comes Oblivion.
It's going to knock out one of these creatures here. So, and any spells in hand to copy with Lutri here?
They do have a bounce off, so
Okay,
shenanigans can happen with that. There's also called a Death Dweller they can copy.
so he's
But I
going
don't
to
think they
go.
have
Yeah.
targets yet.
So now that he played the boat, he is able to deal 5 damage for 1 mana. So just
Yikes.
everything's coming together here. He's drawing cards. The cycling stuff is there. He's getting to cast 1 mana, 5 damage spells, even though they get fizzled by the bounce off. But I don't even think he's that upset about it. Like opponent has to put 7 mana back into that engineer to have it be, a decent size again.
Yeah.
So he gets a sizable attack here, and with a trip up in hand.
Ooh, that was a good draw. That
Okay.
she drew spin out, which she can copy with the Lutri.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
There are some
There's
problematic cards here.
there's still going to be a lot of damage coming next turn, even if 2 things get wiped out. All right. So
Yeah, it's
let's
tough.
see if
It's tough.
there's.
There's so many threats on the board.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 6/3 would have to go because that's just too much damage.
Hmm.
And then I guess hard to say. All right, looks like we're getting some Lutri action here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I've seen I think like 4 or 5 Lutris have been opened between it being in both Ikoria and March of Machine.
Oh,
Uh,
that's sick.
a few people have them. All right, yeah. So big choices here. Yeah, so it does kill the 3/5 flyer and the 4/4 refueler that can draw more cards. But it looks like there's lethal here.
Yeah, I crew the 2 vehicles and then
Yeah,
outface Oblivion.
yeah. Could
Oh,
have played. Did not have another creature to crew though. Well, it does have a creature. It's just not one that can drive a car. He's
poor
too
Jimmy.
small. He
He's
he
too.
he
He's still
he
5 foot.
failed the height test for getting a driver's license. So he's just
But
gonna flood the board with more bodies here, and he's gonna hold. I think his Draconautics engineer. That's the 2/2 rare that can make a 4/4 flyer. Doesn't need to show that right now. He has plenty of mana to activate it.
yeah,
And
it's
how's it looking for surviving the next turn?
not probably not the draw they
Hmm.
wanted. They drew a Guidelight Pathmaker, which is uncastable because they don't have a white source.
Okay, that's the 6-drop one that tutors an artifact. Yeah.
So they can get back a creature with the call and then replay the Sky Streak.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's enough, especially with the Draconautics engineer coming down. That can't be. I don't think it's going to be enough. And basically draws 3 cards per turn here.
True, the max at max speed.
Yeah, between the Spike Spitter and the Vinwixt. Look at this. Discard the Goblin. Unfortunately, you can't bring the Goblin right back with the ability, but I
Oh, so
mean,
much.
he can just he's just clicking here. Like there's just
Yeah.
oh, he can use the Boom Mobile to activate the Draconautics, give everything haste. Like
It was basically like every blue red rare you wanted
yeah, it was
open.
just like let's just click things. Yeah, bring that thing in. Sure, everything has haste. I mean, yeah, he can click more if he wants, but there's not too much else going on here. And even the O4 gets in as he does. Yeah, so very, very impressive showing here from this cycling deck from Matthew. Really has the pieces to make it work, which you love to see when you can get these synergy decks together and have a very good showing in the feature match. So congratulations to Matthew on the win, and we'll see everybody very shortly for our next match of the week.